Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council Ali Shamkhani has warned the U.S. against launching new attacks on Syria. The top official was speaking one day after Washington accused Damascus of preparing to launch a chemical attack on militants and said that Syria would pay a heavy price if it proceeded. Shamkhani says that the U.S. is playing with fire and any new attack would be in violation of Syria's sovereignty. He stressed that Washington's unilateral action in Syria cannot go unanswered. The top security official noted that the U.S. is trying to cover up the losses of terrorists by making such baseless allegations. Shamkhani noted that if the U.S. is honest about its claims, it should give the information about Syrian chemicals to international inspectors so that an impartial side can verify the claims. Russia has also warned the U.S. against any reckless steps in Syria.
As for Washington's bellicose rhetoric, we believe it is necessary to warn our U.S. colleagues against further irresponsible steps in violation of the United Nations Charter and the generally recognized norms of the international law, as was the case during the April 7th missile strike on Syria's Shayrat airbase.
Russia says any new attack will further complicate the conflict as well as the peace talks. Syria has strongly denied Washington's allegations. Back in April, the U.S., accusing Syria of carrying out a chemical attack in Idlib province, launched a missile attack against the country. President Bashar al-Assad has called the claim of chemical attack fabricated. Jason Onhu is a political commentator and analyst who joins us. So looking at this scenario that's being laid out by the U.S., the whole premise is on something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm sure a lot of people have a problem with that.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people do. I mean, this is almost a perfect setup, like something the U.S. is planning ahead of time. Even recent documents show that the last so-called sarin gas attack by the Assad government was actually done by the Syrian rebels, and U.S.'s intelligence actually told them it wasn't. And yet Donald Trump decided to go ahead and choose to strike the Syrian air base anyway. It seems like they know that this it reeks very much of a false flag attack. Like they're claiming something is going to happen, and I'm sure they're going to make it happen in order to demonize the government of Bashar al-Assad. As we've seen, there's a very sketchy actions coming out of the white helmets in Syria, who many professional chemical weapon experts and doctors have said are faking what they are bringing to the media. It almost seems as though the U.S. is preparing to carry out another one of those incidents.
So if they have footage that they've used as a false flag that shows people perhaps like they perhaps had done in the past on the ground and dying or suffocating, then that's evidence enough for the U.S. to attack Syria, and the international community, most notably the UN, is going to fall for that? If this happens again, we're talking hypothetically?
Yeah, hypothetically, if this does happen again, I think it would probably be enough to justify the U.S. to go in ahead and carry out these actions. I mean, the U.S. claim of wanting to save civilians from the Assad government, especially from chemical weapons, is nothing but farcical. The United States is using chemical weapons right now, white phosphorus, on civilians. In the past 2 weeks alone, upwards of 500 civilians have been killed by U.S. airstrike. They're standing on no moral ground whatsoever, real or fake evidence of any chemical attack coming from the Assad government. It's simply ridiculous that the United States can even claim to be the saviors at this point, or that they want to preserve human rights. All of this, given the hypocrisy of the U.S. and the very sketchy evidence of the so-called gas attack from the Syrian government, all adds up to pretty much one big lie for justification for interference in the country, given that the terrorist forces have been losing as of late.
Thank you for that, Jason Onhu, political commentator and analyst from Ontario.